All right, let's say I have a graph like the one shown here, and I want to read values out of it. Say, for instance, I want to determine the period of a waveform. We talked about determining the period of a waveform in class, right? I need to take measurements at multiple different points. So to do that, I need to use something called the data tip. So right now I'm hovering over this graph. And whenever I do that, you'll notice that there's a couple of icons that appear up here, right? In other words, if I'm moving my cursor not over the graph itself, you see those little icons disappeared. I move it back down and they reappear, right? So notice those icons that are appearing and disappearing. Well, the third one from the left here is called a data tip, right? I hover over it, it says data tips, okay? I click on it, right? I left clicked on it and that, highlighted it in blue. This allows me to put my cursor over top of the graph and to read data out. So what I did was notice real quick, I hover my mouse over the graph, and then my mouse cursor changes from the pointer there to sort of a bullseye, I guess, sort of plus sign. And what I do is I left click right there on the graph. And then what it's telling me is the X coordinate value and the Y coordinate value. So for the position where I clicked right now, it says the X coordinate value is negative 0.12 and the Y value is 1.69144. And if you look at that, if I look down, right, from my X coordinate value, it's just to the left side of 0, right? So negative 0.12 seems to make sense. And it says my y-axis value is 1.69144. And that seems to make sense because it looks like it's between 1 and 2, and it looks like it's a little bit closer to the 2 than it is to the 1. All right. Now, if I want to move that, if I hover over that sort of black dot and I hold the left mouse button down, I can shift this guy around to read the values out. So if I wanted to read the values at a particular point, let's say the peak, right? I can just move this guy around a little bit and get it to the peak. Okay. So this says that my peak value looks like it's at something like negative 1.7. And my peak value looks like it's 2.9934, which is about 3. Okay. Now to measure the period of a signal, right, I'm going to have to get a couple of different measurements, right, to be able to do that. But I'll let you figure that part out yourself. The key thing is learning how to use that data tip. Once you know how to use that, you're good to go.